Hi everyone and welcome back to our board game tutorial series. In the last episode we finished off rolling the dice and getting a number from those dice to our player controller. In this episode we're actually going to make our pawns move now according to how many spaces they've rolled. So let's jump in and take a look at how we achieved this. So when we left off we made this move pawn function and it's returning the moves to make in a print string and then clearing the die and send it to 0. And before ending the turn. So what we need to do is move our pawn accordingly. So we first of all need to take into account how moves to make is actually going to work. What moves to make will do is one at a time, it will reduce it by 1 and move the pawn to the correct location. To find that correct location, you need to know what space is it currently on. So when the pawn is on the starting position, like this, we want to know what space that is. This is a board space. So I need to send that to the pawn. So this is the starting space. Let's go to our player pawn. And let's go up to our begin play over here. And at the start of begin play, we're going to record what placement we're on. So we're going to get a function here called get starting space. And all we're going to do for this is do a line trace down by a channel. And we're going to get the actor's location. And we're going to go to the endpoint, which is the actor's location, subtract in the Z a height. And 500 should be plenty. We'll put that in there for the endpoint. So that should be returning our hit here. And the hit actor should be a board space. And so what we're going to do is going to cast to board space. And then promote that to a variable. And we'll call this one current board space. Like so. So let's put that now on begin play to get the starting space. So now we have that space recorded. We can now go back to our move. So let's go back to our player controller. And we want to get the player pawn that we've got. And we want to get the starting space there on. So we're going to do, what do I call it? Current space. Yeah, current board space. And let me just move this stuff out of the way for a second. So we're going to take moves to make, and we're going to say, is this greater than 0? If it's greater than 0, that means we've got moves left to make. So let's go into there. And we're going to take the current board space, and we want to know its neighboring spaces. So if you remember, right at the start of the course, we did a adjacent space array on our boards here. Now, eventually, we're going to make it so the player can choose which space to go from if they've got multiple choices. But in this instance, we're just going to make it go to the first one on the top here. So, you're going to get the adjacent spaces. Get a copy. And we want to get the first one, 0. And I said later, we'll make a widget that lets the player choose which one they go to. Okay, so now we've got that space, we're going to send our pawn to that location. So do set actor location of our, I forgot to drag it out, of our player pawn, set actor location. And we want to set it to the location of this position here. So we're going to do get actor location and plug that into there. Now it's gone through and set the location, we're going to take the moves to make and subtract 1 from it. So it's counting it down, essentially. Let me set it back to itself. Like so. And then I'm going to call move pawn again. So it gets in sort of a loop where it just goes around, does the actor, does this, and move pawn. Now we are going to need some time delay in here. So what we're going to do, instead of just calling it, we'll do a set timer by event. And I'm going to, from the event pin, drag out and do create event, choosing the move pawn node. I'm going to set this to, let's say, 1 second. So every second, it will just go round and do that again. So how did it actually end it? Well, when move to make is now equal to 0 or less, the false would here will trigger. And that's going to trigger the stuff we had before, where we clear the die array, we make sure move to make is set to 0, and we end our turn. So let's go back and see this in action. Let's just put that in here. Okay, so the first player is rolling a die. 1. Oh, sorry, it's me. I forgot. We need to get the adjacent space and store it. So when this get happens here, I forgot to actually update it. We need to store that as the new adjacent space on our, or the current space on our pawn here. So on that pawn, we'll just set current forward space to this new space here. There we go. Right, now we should see a pawn jump over and over and over. So 7, 1. It's going to get stuck in a loop now because I've done it in the wrong order. So we'll do that. We can fix that. So we're going to make sure that this flows round. I'm just going to swap these around. So that is 30. And now I need to be there. And this one, although it's a problem for the ones around the edges, it's the ones in the middle. I think I messed up. So that will go to 25. That's 8. So this one will need to go over there, like so. So the 0 index from here will go along this path and then carry on. Well, I've got 2 of each here. That's weird. I accidentally duplicated it at some point. We'll delete those. Yeah. Okay, so it goes down to that one. We'll go down to there. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. It made duplicates. Yeah, we've got duplicates here as well, look. What's happened here? Okay, we'll just have to clean it up. I'm going to clean this up and pause the recording while I do that. Okay, so I fixed the duplicate board spaces. Don't know what that was about. Okay, so we've got the pawn now should jump to the spaces. We'll write about animation stuff later. We just want to see him jump into it. So this one should now... Okay, so let's skip the first one, but it is traveling along. Okay, and this one is on 8. And again, it's going to skip. Oh, it's not landed at all. And this one hasn't moved on here too. So that tells me a few things. There's some errors there. Could be a side effect of me having to sort out the board there, but let's take a look. Current board space in player pawn. Okay, this is because the moving of the pawn needs to happen on a server call. So the player controller is doing the move pawn over here, but setting the location, I need to actually redo it on the pawn. So what I should do is create a custom event in here into the player pawn, call it server move pawn, and this will be a server call. So we're going to change it to run on server, and then I want to set actor location, and I want to move it to a specific point, a specific board piece. So on move pawn here, we're going to add in here board space. There's this thing there. Okay, and I can actually set that current board space here. Save myself a set. So new board space comes across like that, and I just get the actor location and plug that in to there. And this will work because the server's the one that's moving it, and because they're replicated, hence by this, it will actually move it and replicate it to everyone. So I just need to tell the controller to call this thing. So rather than doing it like this, I need to do server move pawn. And because we've implemented the board space being updated inside of this, we don't need to do this anymore. We can get rid of that. Put that into the reference there. Plug that into the get. And that's it. The only other thing we need to make sure we do is that the board space itself is replicated. So let's go to the current board space variable and to make sure that's replicated there. Okay, so why is it skipping that first one? Let's take a look. So on the player controller, move to make is set, say it's set to 5. When it gets this first one, move 2, we're going to get the first point on our current board space. So it should go across to there and move it across. And I think the issue was that I had previously had it with the set board space in here. Is I was changing the current board space and then accessing it again from here. So I was accessing the new one, not the old one. So if I was to do it on here, I would have swapped it around with the move pawn. But we've solved that issue anyway by putting it into move pawn. So let's take a look and see if that has truly fixed it. And it should go across now. There you go. Good, 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 good. Off it goes. Then the next one should roll. And this should update and change for both. Nope, we've got an error. Okay, so what's the error there? Access now, I'm trying to move pawn. I've got a feeling when it's spawning in, the current board space isn't getting recorded properly at the start. This is how we've done to get starting space. I don't think that's getting recorded. So I'm going to test that theory out. I'm going to print string this. So we'll do that. Hit play. So board space 31, day 1. Okay, yeah, both in there. That's fine. I wonder if it's because I think last time it spawned near the other one, so maybe it picked that one up instead. We'll soon see. No, okay. So access none, trying to read property, current board space. Okay. So let's take a look why that's the case. So the pawn is not accessing this current board space. We've got that on here. I could actually put this on begin play there. Is there. So that should set it on the server side only. Maybe that's the cause of it. We'll see. Got a feeling it won't be the cause of it. Okay, so now this one's in play. And off it goes, disappearing. So let's actually take a look at what we're getting here. Access none, trying to read property, current board space in player pawn. Move pawn. Access none, trying to move pawn. Access none, trying to read current board space. So there's definitely something wrong with the current board space. I don't see why it wouldn't, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back to you with a solution. Okay, resolved it. So my theory was correct that the player pawn, the first one gets spawned in and the second one gets spawned in, but the line trace to detect what space it was getting blocked by the previous pawn. So on the player pawn here, I went to the mesh and I've changed its collision to ignore visibility and camera traces. We don't need it to do any of that. And now it works. So it will move around. However, there's one last issue to solve, and that is it's not replicating across. And I realized an error on my part is that we are doing set actor location. Set actor location doesn't actually replicate. It only replicates transformations by movement. So on our player pawn here, what I need to do is when I do the event over here to move pawn, I actually want to set this up with a multicast event. move pawn. And I still need the server one because only the server can call multicast events. So I'm going to replicate that, multicasted. And this will be exactly the same over here. We'll put over here. And we'll put that into the target there, like so. So I can take it off and put multicast there instead. And the target will go across into it. So the server gets called and the server tells everyone to update their positions, like so. So let's finish this off and show that working. So our pawn has rolled an 8. And off they go. Down the line. On the merry way. Now the next one's going to roll. It's rolled a 7. And that's updating for both. So that'll do it for moving a pawn for now. What we're going to do next is make the camera follow the pawn around based upon which pawn is actually moving. That way we can actually see it rather than going off the screen. But there you go. We've got it moving. And eventually we'll add animations for make it hopping across as well. So if you want to watch the next part with the camera stuff, you can head over to patreon.com/RyanLady, where you not only get that video, but all our others for early before anyone else from just $1 a month. Plus, you'll be helping out by supporting the channel and everything we do here for our Discord community and other developers that are in our community. So massive thank you to everyone watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.